What's going on, family? How y'all doing today? Hope everybody have had a tremendous Sunday of the year. We appreciate everybody for tuning in to Sports Talk with BWatts, along with J.R. Boxing. Got a good show lined up for y'all tonight. We're getting ready to talk about Shedeur Sanders on his bye week return to Boulder, Colorado to check on his dad, which was a good thing. And also, we got to talk about the Colorado football team got destroyed. I mean, they got built to ass. Excuse me, language, but they did for the second game in a row. And this time it's against Arizona Wildcard college football team. We getting ready to talk about that tonight. I got J.R. Boxing. Only thing we ask that y'all do, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and do everything you can to support the broadcast. Hey, got to bring my man up right now, and that's J.R. Boxing. Want to welcome J.R. Boxing to the stage. What's up, J.R.?
BWatts, what's happening, man? What's happening?
What's going on, man? Want to say hello to the chat. Michael Lockhart, I see you. I love CC. What's going on? Doing all right tonight? PC 40. What's going on? Appreciate you. Jenkins 3050. What's going on? How you doing? Appreciate y'all tonight. Make sure you hit the like button. Crystal Wise William, how you doing? RD, my dog is in the building. What's up, RD? Patricia Gordon, what's going on? Miss Phyllis Smith, what's up, family? How you doing? You don't got that move thing straight? Oh, I know how that is. Yeah, I know how that is. Hope you got everything settled, sis. Praying for you. Calvin Shepherd, what's going on? Read my bell. Mac Attack is in the building. What's going on, Miss Janice Pearson? Val Green, what's up? What's going on? You doing all right, Val? What's going on with you? Who else we got in here? Who else we got? TM 111 is in the building. Appreciate y'all tonight. If y'all don't mind, hit that like button for me. I think I got everybody. B. Cleve, what's going on? Appreciate you. Appreciate you tonight. Appreciate you tonight. Got a good show lined up for you tonight. Y'all just hang on in there. Val. Who is Val? What's up, Val? I see. Miss Val C, what's going on? Appreciate you. Let's see. Matt said I watched Greg earlier. He hit some great points. Okay. I ain't know Greg came on. He came on today.
He came on.
Okay. I got to check him out. What's up, A1 Sports? Patrick Williams is in the building. Appreciate y'all. I think I got everybody. JR, Colorado. I mean, not Colorado, but Shedeur Sanders went to Colorado, went back home to visit his father, and looked like both of them were glad to see each other during the bye week. I know earlier during the week, Shedeur said he wasn't going to be able to make it because he got to take treatment, but all of a sudden he showed up, and you can see the expression on Coach Brian's face, and he said during the press conference, anytime he can see his sons, it's a blessing to him. And I can understand that. I got 2 daughters in college, man. Whenever they come home, they see me, man. That just that do something to you, boy. They think enough of you to come home to check on you when you got kids.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, much needed for both, man. Look, they both, both going through it. Shedeur's professional career is not, going as he envisioned for himself. Obviously, the Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime, the season's not going of what he expected it to look like. Uh, Even though Shedeur said he wasn't going to show up, he showed up, man. He surprised his father, man, and that's what it's about, man. I don't think Shedeur wanted to take away from everything else that was going on. Big weekend for them, right? A must-win game. It was also homecoming weekend. So I don't think Shedeur wanted to go in and overshadow everything that's going on by saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be back," and start drumming up extra emotions for people like that. So I think he just wanted to come in, quietly and fellowship with his pop, man, and love up on his pop and get that love back. It's good to say I love you over the phone, but that I love you just hit a little bit different when you're in the arms of a loved one. And they both needed that. You could see it on their face, man. You could definitely see it on their face. You can see it in their body language. They both needed that.
Yeah, you can see it, man. And I'm sure with the health, with Coach Prime dealing with his health, dealing with the football situation, and he's the only guy he ever coached as a quarterback to coach and going through the things that he's going through with the football team. But still, yet again, Shedeur only played for Coach Prime his all life, his whole life. Until he got there in Cleveland. Cleveland done slammed the brakes on him, boy. They up there messing with the NFL. NFL, man, said, man, we don't care who your dad is. We don't care nothing about this.
Man.
We don't care nothing about that. JR just seemed like to me they blackballing the dude.
Yeah, it seems
it's like a
a
sneaky blackball.
Look, it looked like an out in front blackball to me. If you're asking me, you go from the pre-draft situation to the NFL draft situation, then you go to a training camp with the Cleveland Browns all the way into current day. Everything that they've been putting out in the media that comes from somewhere, right? These sources that they have in the building when you get to the local reporters from the Cleveland football team and things like that. Look, we didn't heard it all, man. We didn't heard it all. They didn't talk about this man speeding tickets, off the field issue, to going from he don't know the playbook to going from trade rumors. Where all of this coming from, BWatts? This is coming from sources inside the building. The young man, going back to the speeding ticket, he got the speeding ticket months ago. Then somebody decided to put it out from inside the building. He can't read a playbook or he not picking up the offense. Where that's coming from? Nobody exactly. Nobody outside of that building would know if that's the case. We don't believe it. We talking about a young man that went through 6 offensive coordinators through college. So playbook, come on now. And then you fast forward to what they doing now. You're moving him up and down the roster. His back hurt. You done already chastised him for speaking to the media. Then you chastise him for not speaking to the media. Then the following week you say his back hurt and he not well enough to even suit up. So the Cleveland are kind of all over the place with it. So I think it's like what Greg would say. It's a public lashing. Shout out to Greg because Greg been on it from day one. He didn't went through every dark corner of a conspiracy theory, but it seems like it's proven to be true. So shout out to Greg for being on it early and often. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, he's been up against the 8 ball ever since the draft, man. And it seemed like that white ball standing in his way, man. Can't go in the pocket, man. Because it was all set up. They were gonna get DG prepared to start at some point during this season. That's why he got all the #1 reps. And Shedeur is the backup quarterback. And still this day,
Yeah.
He haven't received not one first team rep. Now, if you can be a hater of Shedeur, you ain't even gotta like Dion. You ain't gotta like Bucket, Welloff, Shiloh, or none of them. But dog, you just can't look at this situation and say that's wrong. Not one team rep. He ain't threw the ball to Jerry Judy since he been there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's crazy,
come on,
man.
JL, think of that, man. Yeah. He
That's
hasn't thrown
crazy,
the
man.
ball to Jerry Judy, who's the #1 wide receiver, who was a top 5 wide receiver last year, and this year with Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel, you wouldn't know he on the team if you didn't look at the roster.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. The same Jerry Judy that was calling for Kenny Pickett to be the quarterback at the beginning. That's the same. We talking about that Jerry Judy. All right, hey, man. Hey,
boy, they can make a movie about this, boy.
That's crazy, B.
That's wild. That's some nasty work.
I saw something earlier. It was from an uncredible source, so I didn't send it in a group chat or nothing like that. But it said that the Browns proposed a trade to the Jets to send Shedeur and Jerry Judy to the Jets for Garrett Wilson, a wide receiver from the Jets. I said, but it wasn't from a credible source. It's probably just some local Cleveland fan or somebody just creating something and putting it on the internet. But I kind of look like, man, that's crazy, man. But yeah,
hey, you just wait till tomorrow. What the trade deadline is? What, Tuesday?
Yep, November 4th.
Boy, you gonna hear all kind of stuff. I already got clips, things about the trade. People done sent me, man. People who done played for Cleveland. I guess they don't saw my videos and they told me how much they appreciate my video. It's a wide receiver, got his own podcast, Josh Creel. He sent me a video where they was talking about. He said he know some people done called there for Shedeur Sanders. They won't trade. They asked for a first or a second round draft pick. I said, what? Yeah. I said, they asked for a first or second round draft for Shedeur. I texted him back and said, for Shedeur? He said, yeah. He said he done talked to people in the building. So they ain't letting him go until then. Man, I said, they drafted him in the 5th round. Keep telling people of the Cleveland media he's far behind, but they asking for a second or a first round draft pick who they have no intent to let play, and they gonna hang on to him. Oh man, that's the news going on all the way around.
They meant that. So they pretty much saying, make me an offer I can't refuse.
Exactly.
And we'll trade them. That's nasty work, man.
That's
you know
nasty
what?
Work, bro.
Look,
yeah.
That's nasty work, man. Yeah, look, we all been lied to, man. And
yeah.
For Cleveland to go out and publicly say, especially Kevin Stefanski, to go out there and say, well, it's going to be a QB competition. Well, in competition, if somebody has to win the competition. Now, I know we don't know how the competition was measured, but it seemed like to us, the casual fan that followed the team, it seems like to us, at least from a viewership standpoint, one person won that, and that was Shedeur. Now, we don't know what's happening in the building, whatever the case may be, but we just talking about play on the field, training camp, targets, opportunities, touchdown to interception ratio, completion percentage. That's all physical that we able to see. There was a clear-cut win. It wasn't even close. And Dylan had over 100 reps compared to Shedeur, what, 60 to 70 reps or something like that? Yeah. So it was yeah, man. They lied to us, man.
Okay, JL, let me play the devil advocate. Let me play the devil. Let's say Shedeur don't know the playbook. Now, when I'm watching the game, when I have watched Cleveland Brown play, them plays that Dylan Gabriel running, you gonna tell me, boy, that Pee-wee stuff. Pat Sherman can call them plays.
Oh, come on, man.
JR, let's play the devil advocate. Let's say Shedeur don't know those plays, which we know that's a lie. When you look at the Cleveland Browns play on the field and the plays that Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel have been running so far with this offense, There's no way this dude couldn't know them plays. Who
Yeah,
couldn't know them plays?
yeah. It's interesting to me that you say that BWatts don't know the plays when I literally watched the Cleveland team run the same play probably about 10 to 15 times
Who
in a
that remind you
game.
of?
Pat Shermer.
Okay.
Hey, Kevin Stefanski may be from Pat Shermer coaching tree. I got to do a little bit more research on that before I stand on
Hey,
that.
he was up on him with the Giants.
So there we go. Hey, that's where you get it from. You're saying coaching tree.
I think he was
So,
a running back coach or something like that for the Giants when Pat Shermer was there.
nasty work, man. So you right, man. Look, for them to say he don't know the playbook, that's a bold-faced lie. Because if you gonna run one play 10 to 15 times in a game, well, he know that play at least. So you off to a good start.
Exactly. Ain't what 60 plays a game?
Exactly. So if 15 of them the same,
20 on my handoff.
what more you want? So, look, that's your team, Cleveland. I
Hey
ain't got
man,
nothing
look,
to say
I
about
know you
these
don't want to talk
Browns.
about Houston what they did today. You want to talk about that? You know I watched that game. But JR, if they saying he don't know the plays, why did Joe Flacco look so bad in Cleveland up under Kevin Stefanski offense, and now in Cincinnati today, that boy throw over 450 yards?
Hey, look, you said it, Kevin Stefanski. He is the reason. If I want to go watch my nephew and his Pop won a championship football game. I mean that's what Cleveland is. That's what their offense is projecting. He threw the ball 52 times one game. The next game turned around, only throw it 18 times.
Yeah.
Hand the ball off 25 times one game. Next game you hand it off 12. You cannot write this. You cannot write this script any better. So to know the plays or to not know the plays, we know that is false. That is a terrible mischaracterization of who Shedeur is. A student of the game. He has showed the documentation is proven. Shout out to Well Off Media and Bucky. It's proven documentation to say he understands the game of football and know the plays. I mean, hell, we was mad at him at Colorado because he was doing his own plays. I mean, what more? Look, Cleveland, you got to right this wrong, and they'll come off this bye week after giving Dylan Gabriel 2 weeks to get himself ready to install and to go through and the whiteboard and the tablet and all of that stuff. But if you just don't got it, you just don't got it. I
At
think
one
that's where
point,
they at with this.
okay. 4 games ain't enough. Now I agree with that. When it comes down to, let's say it was vice versa issue, do have 4 games, I'll probably be saying that ain't enough.
Yeah.
But still, you can let Shedeur go out there for 4 games and then come back and go. They can switch up after one go one game, then the other go one game to finish the season off to get more information on who should be at least the backup quarterback or the starting quarterback going into next year, because you got 2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah. Look, to me, when Shedeur gets in and when he gets the opportunity
When
to
he get
play,
in, if he gonna get in.
nah, he gonna get in. It's no
Says
way.
who? What's gonna have to happen?
We already seen what's happening.
I mean, what's gonna have to happen for him to get in?
He gonna get in.
Okay, you just said we don't see
happen.
what's happening. He still ain't playing.
But you just said 4
He
games
ain't took
ain't
no
enough.
first team reps.
He gonna get in, man. He gonna
When,
get his
JR?
opportunity.
We ain't got the 9 most game. When?
I called it. I said week 10.
Oh, you said you gonna call Kevin Stefanski?
I call it myself. Somebody give me the number to Berea, Ohio, to their main Cleveland Browns campus. G. Bush, where you at? I know you got a number or so. I call them myself. I call every day like I'm calling a congressman. Hey man, we need some change around here. We
But
need
check
some
this out,
change.
JR. I don't want it to go down like this, JR. I'm telling you what they're gonna do. If he does get in, he gonna play the last 3 games. They're gonna be out of the playoff race, right?
Yeah, they already
All
out of the
right.
playoff race.
Wait, slow down,
They
JR. Slow down, JR. They ain't
already
but 3
out,
games.
BWatts.
They ain't but 3 games out of the loss play. But I'm just saying, if they put him in at the last 3 games, you know what Kevin Stefanski gonna do. He gonna pull the what? The number 1 offense off the field. The last 3 games to save them from injury so he can play, so the backups can get a chance to play, so he can observe them to see going forward. And Shedeur gonna be in that same situation when he was quarterback against the LA Rams.
Now, hypothetically, if that happened, BWatts, that's
Yeah, JR,
nasty
that's what they do.
work.
So you don't tell me the NFL don't do that.
Not for a losing team. If they're a losing team, the starter's gonna be out there to the end. We paying you money.
No, JR, come on, JR.
Only
Go do your go through the history of the league. Go back to last year. They pulled the number 1 offense off the field the last 3 games.
not the entire offense.
Yes, they do, JR.
I can see a player or two.
No, JR,
offense?
they gonna pull.
No.
Cleveland's gonna pull. I mean, ain't nobody no number 1 standout offense. So it don't matter. To me, it ain't like nobody's gonna make the All-Star team or the Pro Bowl on the team.
Man.
So I'm just saying they gonna pull them, JR.
If that happens, BWatts, you have to fire Kevin Stefanski immediately and Andrew Berry. You gotta fire both.
They should have been done did that anyway.
Only player I could see having that type of leeway would be a Myles Garrett and a Denzel Ward, because they have invested millions of dollars. Myles Garrett, $40 million player. So I understand you don't want to get, if you're not playing for nothing, you don't want to get him hurt last 3 games of the season. So because you just want to have him fresh and ready for the beginning. Denzel Ward, same thing. He a $20 million cornerback. I can understand that. Everybody else, man, they susceptible to be traded before the November 4th deadline. So they
gonna do that, JR. They gonna do it, JR. Think about the history. Look at your team that you've been rooting for. Go back last year to Texas. Did your starting quarterback play the last 2 or 3 games? You knew they was out of the playoff.
Yeah, he played.
No, he didn't, JR.
He did play, BWatts.
Even the chat going with me said, BWatts, I believe that.
No,
yeah, I know. Man, they are not going, they gonna do anything. I mean anything to keep Shedeur from outperforming Dylan Gabriel. The longest Shedeur wait to get in, that's the goal, that's the plan for the head coach. Now, if he play in the next 2 games, they can't do that. But as the season go along and they delay Shedeur from going in and showcasing his skill set, boy, shoot, I'm telling you now. Now, the original plan was Joe Flacco play at least 10 games.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel get 6. Shedeur to get 2 or 1. Yeah, but Andrew Berry saw what was going on, so he traded him out. Because the owner done said Andrew Berry is in charge of the roster. Kevin is in charge of who plays. So tell me something, big dog. Who gonna be the force to let Shedeur play?
Like I said, it had to be Jimmy Haslam, man. Going back to what you said, if they get to the last 3-4 games of the season and you put Shedeur in the game, and then Kevin Stefanski decides to all of a sudden pull starters, how can you get a proper evaluation? Because at this point, you're putting Shedeur in the game. You already know Dylan Gabriel is at best your backup. He's not a starter. Because you wouldn't be playing Shedeur if you felt Dylan Gabriel was the starter. So you done got enough tape and evaluation on Dylan Gabriel at that point to say he at best a backup. So if you sit down every starter and put Shedeur out there, And let me play devil advocate, because it can happen this way. They take all the starters out and you put Shedeur out there with some second string guys. And Shedeur run it up. He able to conjure up 24 points a game for Cleveland Browns. Then what they gonna say? Well, we took out all the first string. He playing with second string, third string guy, and he still scored 24 points a game. Then what they gonna say, BWatts?
Do
The
they
narrative
care?
will be even
They gonna
worse.
say they don't care. They saying it now. They don't care. The owner saying they don't care. Andrew saying they don't care. Hell, he did that against the Carolina Panthers. That's the last time Cleveland offense looked good in the preseason. In the preseason, that's the last time they looked good in the preseason. When
that would be criminal, and all of the pundits surrounding that football team, BWatts, they would lose their mind. You mean to tell me you pull out all the starters, you put Shedeur in, so you're not even giving him a favorable chance, but he manages to then produce more, and they're gonna say, well, we don't care, you know, it was the end of the season. No, because your opponents are still playing for something. They could be playing Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh could be still playing for positioning when it comes to playoff winning or losing. So it would still matter. So Kevin Stefanski could get to the podium and say it don't matter, but everything else surrounding the Brown organization, it still matters. People still trying to fight for playoff positions. People still fighting for jobs. Unlike college, how you can say, well, the team gave up on the coach. Players can't afford to do that in the NFL. You give up playing, you risk losing your job. You can't put no bad film out there. You won't have a job next year. Who's going to take you? So that's why I say could it happen? Absolutely. Highly unlikely for it to happen, though, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Want to thank Miss Phyllis Smith for renewing and being a new member. Appreciate you, Miss Smith.
Shout out to Phyllis, man. That move kicked your butt, huh? Keep it real. Put it in the chat. That move kicked y'all butt, man.
Yeah, we appreciate that. But look, though, JR, let's talk about this, right? She said JR won this debate.
Shout out RDRD. I'm just saying, man.
JR ain't won no debate.
Shout out RDRD.
But check this out, though, JR. Okay. All right. This is my last topic on this. All right. When do you think Shedeur gonna play? And should they trade him?
You put me in a hot seat now.
I'm giving you two things to talk about.
That's the hot seat questions, man.
I mean, when is a good time? If he ain't playing by the Vegas game, that's 3 more games. They play the Jets, they play the Raiders, and they play the Ravens. Now they play the Jets, the Ravens, then the Raiders. So that would give DG 7 games.
Yeah.
All right.
My initial was week 10. Week 10 is next week, so that ain't happening, obviously. Because they said his back hurt, right? So,
I was gonna ask you that. What about his back?
Yeah, so they said they didn't took him off the active roster because of his back. So if that's the issue, then I have to extend it another 2 weeks and go week 12. If Shedeur's not starting by week 12, that's pending the same output that Dylan Gabriel is currently putting out. Cleveland's losing. Dylan Gabriel's the offense is sputtering under his command. Week 12 has to be the week. Because essentially you saying that, okay, Shedeur been out 4 weeks, pretty much getting treatment on his back at that point. So it had to be week 12, in my opinion. So I'm going with week 12, and then do they trade him? If Andrew Berry picking up that phone saying, yeah, we can't take no less than a second, nobody's trading for that.
Man, my dog was the number 1. Ain't no quarterback coming out of next year better than Shedeur.
Is he worth the number 1? Absolutely. Was he evaluated as the number 1? Absolutely. But the math don't math. Y'all picked him in the 5th round. The money, at this point, it's a money thing. So we gonna trade a second round pick away, somebody that could potentially uh change our organization if we were to draft them and go with a guy that y'all just shelving and putting on the bench and ridiculing and humiliating and all that stuff. That man, from GM to GM, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense, B Watts. Makes no sense at all. So they would have to be more realistic. Andrew Barry would have to be more realistic in what he wants to do if they're looking to move Shedeur. I don't think they trade him because they want to see what they have. So week 12, he gets in. That gives Shedeur 5 games to prove it. Hey, prove what you can do. We're gonna put you out there. Prove what you can do, because mathematically they would probably be out of it by then for sure. So
Right.
prove what you can do. You got 5 weeks. Make them 5 weeks count. So I'm going with week 12, and no, they don't trade him.
Okay. All right. That's J.R. Boxer. J.R. Boxer said the Cleveland Browns will not be trading Shedeur Sanders. So I'm gonna listen to J.R. Lately, for the last 3 weeks, J.R. been on. He been on the road. He been on the road. So
Man.
I got to give him. It might been a month. It might been a month. Him and Steve and Greg done called everything. So hey, I'm gonna listen to you, but I don't know, man. What them guys that used to play for him, I don't know, man. But we gonna see. Yeah, Cook JR. Yeah, he cooking tonight, y'all. He cooking. To Greg get on here. Greg put him in that frying pan. Hey, man. Let's switch over, JR. We're at 30 minutes out, man. We're at 30 minutes out. We gotta switch on. All right. We gotta talk about these Colorado football team. Coach Prime and the Colorado football team. Now, here I go on this. Y'all stay with me, family. Stay with me. I got 28 minutes. When I look at the Colorado football team, I'm looking at the offense coordinator and the quarterback. If they're not in sync and the play on the field don't translate to being the best on the field, that's Case Salter. So far, it haven't worked on the field. Now, I'm an advocate of Case Salter. I think he's one of the best. He was one of the best coming in the season. I had him as a Heisman candidate. But when I see him on the field, it's like he disconnected from the coaching. He done checked out. And when I'm looking at him real close in that shotgun, JR, he already 7 steps in the shotgun from the center. Soon as he catch the ball, he go back 5 more steps.
Yeah.
And then he try to run out to the right. You running right into the defense. If you in the shotgun, that right there ought to tell you back far enough, because if an edge rusher come off the end, that right tiger or the left tiger is trying to push him by you.
Yeah.
By him taking 5 more steps back, he gonna get sacked. And then when I look at him, he will move faster at Liberty than he is up here. Now it could be because of the competition. Might be better or quicker, but it looked like he's slow. And then one thing I know I don't saw. He don't want to get hit, JR. He ain't stepping up. He's not stepping up in that pocket, and it looked like he just, I think that Delaware game, when Coach Prime took him out after that first 2 drives, I think it kind of hurt his confidence. He hasn't been right since, especially against teams that are ranked higher than, and the competition level is higher. Now, them weak teams, he'll go out there and destroy them. But whenever they dial up that blitz, K-Salt try to get up out of there instead of going through his progression, his reads. And it looked like he was kind of slow with that, because I don't want to talk about Juju now. I talk about Juju in the neck block. But I'm just talking about K-Salt and the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, a bad marriage altogether. To me, I think his confidence was a little bit shaken from the beginning. Like you recruit them there, whatever happened, Coach Prime was there during a recruiting situation. They get him in the building, they get Juju signed, all of this stuff happens. Then you get to the Big 12 media day and you bring your highly coveted true freshman quarterback as well to the media day with the senior veteran led quarterback. So to me, it was kind of like a confidence breaker right there. I understand what Coach Prime was doing for the program. Like, look, we recruiting guys and we're putting them out front. He did that with Jordan Seaton. We're recruiting you, we putting you out front, things like that, to attract more recruits. But what does that do to the other person that you whisper sweet nothings to get there out of the transfer portal? Hey man, you're gonna get. I know they ain't promised them nothing, but hey, you're gonna come here, you're gonna get the opportunity to fight for a starting position. Yada yada yada. This and the third, probably just standard stuff to get them to come there. You're gonna get exposure. You're gonna get this, get opportunity, sling the rock around. And K-Salt was probably like, bet. Then he get there, and it's like, oh, by the way, we're gonna send Juju with you to the, Big 12 Media Day. If it's me, I've been like, huh? Like, man, what type of time we on, man? Because now I'm constantly looking over my shoulder. All throughout training camp, it was Salt and Juju. Staub was nowhere around. Nowhere around. So I get it. If Juju that more talented than Staub and it played out in training camp, cool. But then you get to the start of the season and you go in with Salter and Juju as the proverbial backup because Staub was relegated to third string. First game, Salter, he didn't play a bad game. It wasn't a Shedeur game, right? And I think that's what we expect. How they're going to come out. Offense going to look different, moving up and down the field, blah, blah, blah. He
But
moved
they had 104 fever, though.
Yeah, I mean, he moved the ball up and down the field, and they still had an opportunity to win the game. They had the ball last, opportunity to win. They just fell short. You go to Delaware game, next game, he moves the ball, 10 points on the board. I don't know what else you want from him. You want maybe he left 4 points on the field. Could have had 14 instead of 10, but they had 10. Maybe they was a little quick off the draw to be like, all right, we want to get Juju in to get some extra reps. No, let the score build up a little bit more. Let it be a 24-0 or something like that. Then you put Juju in, and this a whole different season. Now you fast forward to now, and look, this is 2 games where I can really look at K-Salt and say he didn't play well. Like he did not play well. Minus play calling, the defense giving up 52 points. Like K-Salt didn't play well. You can't fumble the ball in your own territory. That can't happen. No. You can't be a 6-year senior or a 5th-year senior or something like that, and you staring down a receiver. True freshman receiver at that, staring him down. So it's a lot that goes into it, but those 2 games, TCU and this game here, terrible output from K-Salt.
Yeah, it was, man. It was terrible. I was looking at it and I was saying, man, at first he missed the touchdown pass with Cecile Brown.
Yep.
Then he came back and did the fumble. Yeah, I was right there. I would took him out right then. Score of 17-0. I would took him out right there, but I never would have went to Ryan Staub. He's the worst quarterback in college. I'm sorry. I would never put him out there.
2 passes, 2 interceptions. Right?
Yeah, that was it, man. I tell you, he should never hit the field. They should have sent him on somewhere. So when I looked at that, I said, man, K-Salt ain't got it together. Even though the defense, we're going to talk about that later. I said, K-Salt still ain't got it together. I said, this would be a perfect time to put Juju in to see if he can light a spark, and it's at home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In front of the fan base, because majority of the people, they want to see Juju. They want to see him play. even though he's still young, he's still learning. But when I do look at Juju, I'm finna switch to the Juju conversation. Now, the little time that I saw Juju, I gotta admit, he didn't look that bad. He looked pretty decent. And looked like he can read the defense and he throws the ball where it should go.
Yeah.
Now I like that. Now the only thing that I'm looking at, he's injury prone with that hand. He was injured in high school. Now he's injured, or he injured that hand again. I don't know what the extent of the injury is, but and another thing I noticed when Juju scramble, he looked faster than Case Alton.
Case Alton, yeah.
Yeah. He made up his mind and said, "Oh, well, I'm finna go," and he ran and he got down. He looked faster and quicker than Case Alton yesterday when yesterday when I saw the game. And like I said, he made the correct reads. He got a quicker release. The touchdown pass he threw to Omarion Miller, a little underthrown, but Omarion Miller made a good save on it. But you give him more reps and to get his confidence up, he might just turn out to be one. But they got to surround him next year with better talent. And Coach Prime don't want to have to pay. Quit paying your wide receivers, 17 of them, you don't need them, and put your money on the offensive line and your defensive line and linebackers. But for us, Juju, what did you see from Juju?
I saw elite arm talent, like all the things you mentioned. Quick release, the ball has some snap, has some kick to it. Quick decision making. He showed his mobility, because that was one of the things people were like, "Oh, well, he's not as mobile." Nope, he showed you during that game. I can get out and move.
Yeah.
Look, I hate making comparisons to players, but if you look at the player that was on the opposite side of the field, Noah Fafita, Julian Lewis and Noah Fafita look very similar. Stature's the same, arm talent, accuracy with the ball, quick reads, utilize mobility when needed. So I saw a great building block for Colorado Coach Prime with Julian Lewis. So to me, you go with Julian Lewis going forward. I know it's a thing of as far as like, is he going to redshirt and things like that? That's a question you got to talk to with the young man and his family. But for a guy that was 14 years old playing high school football, taking his team to Georgia State championship, I don't think 4 years is in his rearview mirror. I don't think he's looking in a rearview mirror like, I got to do 4 years of college football before. No, he's looking in front of him to say, I'm 2 years and I'm out.
Yeah.
So look, get him the experience now. If you win enough games to get to a bowl games, they give you extra 30 days of practice for him to get even more reps. And then you go into there, hey, go to K-Salt. Look, K-Salt, we'll do everything we can for you to help you achieve whatever professional dream you may have, whether that's in football or whether that's in business, on the business sector. But what we need for you to right now is to continue to be a mentor. Because that got to be a good shot to K-Salt to be like, man, this is my last year of college football, and I'm ending like this. But now it's your time to, hey, let me support the young guy. Because K-Salt, you were once Juju. You were that young guy waiting to get on the field. So Juju just got to come in and look, continue to do what he do. He didn't put himself in harm's way. You know what I like, BWatts? He got out of the pocket. He ain't see nothing downfield. He threw it away.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's live to fight another down. Only thing I can do as a quarterback is put our team in the best situation. They were already down 50 points. So, but that's smart football right there. Let me get the ball. Let me throw the ball away. Look, let me get out of the pocket. Let me throw it away. Nobody open. Everybody's covered. I'm still in the pocket. Let me throw it in a direction, but throw it down to the ground. Because I know if I try to throw it and fit it in, that's an interception. That's smart football. You can tell the young man's well coached. Shout out to his parents. Shout out to his high school coach. Shout out to his QB coach. All of those people that helped groom him to this point. Shout out to all of them, man. They did an amazing job. And it showed with his play on the field against Arizona.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like I said, I was surprised at his speed, his pocket awareness, and he knew where to go with the ball. He can read a defense, and
Hmm.
that's crucial when you're playing quarterback on any kind of level. You must know where the reads are and make a quick decision. And we
Yep.
already know he got a quick release, and he did that. Salter just didn't demonstrate that to me. Really, Salter kind of let me down in the way that he played, but I ain't gonna kill him on that because I don't think that's the offense is made for him.
Yeah.
They should have ran that Liberty offense when he was at Liberty. But Salter didn't want to run this year. Matter of fact, he on record said, I didn't come here to run. I come here to throw the football. But it just didn't work out for him. Just didn't
Yeah.
work out. He just
I
made,
mean,
I mean, he got to eat that one.
you
He got
got
to
to
eat
eat.
that one. He got to just, like you said, be a mentor. I think they need to stick with Juju going forward.
Yep.
And give mass protection. You don't want
Yep.
him to get hurt trying to throw the deep ball because, be honest, I don't think they can make no bowl game. But they could. They can win their next 3, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
If I was Coach Prime, I'd tell Pat Sherman, make sure you give him mass protection. And we don't want Julian Lewis to get hurt because he's the future. You
Yeah.
know, if he stays there, he's the future. So, and I start playing them young wide receivers who you think gonna be there so they can get that connection going.
Absolutely.
Like I
Yeah.
say, man, you don't need no 20 wide receivers, man, on scholarship. And that's where your money at. Man, you need to build you an offensive line and a defensive line and some linebackers. They need that. Now let's talk about that defense. That defense, read that super chat out.
Got you. BWS for the 499 age. Salute to you. Shout out to you. CU defense has been playing too many snaps and is worn out due to Salter and the offense. Juju will reduce the time the defense has on the field. Look, I like that. And I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying, but answer this, BWS. Now, who got the ball first? Arizona or CU?
Yeah, yeah.
Arizona scored first. Dude broke by 7 tackles. So
Two
they
plays
wasn't
he's
no,
going.
they was
Two
fresh,
games in a row.
fresh on the field. And before Salter even got out there,
Yeah.
they was
That's their
down 7
problem,
0.
JR. That Colorado, that Coach Prime problem. I'm sure he know because if you ask him anything about the offense, he's gonna say, no, you see that defense. He bring
Yeah.
up the defense, and that defense, they terrible, man. They don't gave up 400 yards each game that I'm played this year. You can't win no
Yeah.
game like that, man.
Can't win.
You can't win like that when a running back running all over you, and then the game before, a bag up quarterback. A bag up quarterback for Utah ran all over you.
Yeah. Because the way I look at it is I get what they saying, and we appreciate that 499 super chat. And I agree with some parts of it. But if you were to flip it around and let's say when Shedeur and them was there last year and they was scoring the ball every drive and the defense had to quickly get back on the field, what was the difference? The defense made stops. Shedeur get the ball, score again. Defense got to go back out and make the stop. So I get it, but then I look at games where, again, this past game, Arizona was literally, they got the ball first, came out and scored like that. You fresh.
Yeah.
On the Utah, the second play of the game, you fresh. Dude ran for 60-something yards, touchdown. So
Same thing.
yeah. So the defense need to drop their nuts and they need to play, but it may be too late. I saw a lot of frustration on the field, a lot of finger pointing. I'm not going to say Coach Prime lost the locker room. I don't think that's the case, but them players are frustrated with each other. It's an internal situation because players starting to look at each other. They're like, man, you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, dog.
No, they ain't, man. The defense just let them down all year, JR.
Yeah.
Man, you can't stop nobody. I mean, nobody. You ain't stop nobody this year. Just dominate nobody on the defensive side of the ball. And just like they said in the comment section, you don't make no halftime adjustment. I think Robert Dickinson was over his head, and we gave him too much credit the first year because George Hilo was sitting up in the box. He was in the locker room making the change and changes to the defense. And now that he's on the coaching the linebackers and defensive end, they don't have that no more. And another thing, Coach Prime got to get some better coaches, man. He need a quarterback coach.
Yeah.
If the offensive coordinator gonna be up in the booth, he need a quarterback sitting on that sideline instead of look like a 17-year-old in a yellow jacket or vest sitting over there with a pad. He probably this ain't no Madden game. K-Salt don't know what he's talking about.
Chill out, man.
This dude had a yellow jacket on, looked like he about 17 or 18, ain't got no business on the field. They're talking to the quarterback. No, you need an offensive coordinator talking to your quarterback.
Yeah.
And tell him where he need to go and what he need to do.
Yeah. Look,
and another thing,
shout out to the GA in the yellow shirt, man.
Shout out to him, man. That thing's so bright you can't help but to see it. I said, man, it look like he ought to be at a bus stop trying to direct traffic. But when you need Coach Prime need another offensive coordinator and another defensive coordinator. He don't need no NFL person. He need a certified college offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator who got a lot of experience in coaching. That's what he needs.
Yeah.
Somebody can go to that board and put up some diagrams of a formation.
Yeah.
We don't know if they can do that or not. You got to be able to teach the game back to them, bro. Everybody can't be no motivator speaker now. You can't. Yeah.
So you say they need some X's and O's.
Yeah, you need to X somebody on that chalkboard, bro. Hey, that's how I used to do. Man, they chalk me. That's why I used to do on my job. When we first trained for that job, I said, hey, you need what we don't talk to, you need to get back on that board and teach us back before we put you out there. I said, okay, you go up there. And I did that when I was coaching for junior high. I said, hey, I draw out the play. I'll tell you what the defense, do they watch films? I heard during the spring, they didn't watch film. Man, we ain't worried about what nobody else do. We worry about what we do. I said, huh?
Oh, man. Come on, man.
I said, man, this ain't
I think they were taken out of context, man. Come on.
Oh, come on, man. That's what Coach Prime said. We don't worry about what nobody do. We gonna do what we do. I said, dog. Okay.
I understand.
Okay, check this out. Here you go. Here you go on this one. Every team that you done seen play Colorado, you can go back to Utah, you can go back to the BYU. They played Colorado different from what they played other teams. If you look at them, Iowa State played them different. TCU played. TCU quarterback, before they played Colorado, he would sit back in that pocket and chop that thing. But when he played Colorado, they didn't throw the ball. They ran the ball. Because tape is out. They watch tape on Colorado. That's what I'm trying to tell you, JR. They make adjustment and they watch tape of Colorado, but Colorado do the opposite. We ain't got to watch their tape. We going to worry about what we do. And every time you hear Coach Prime say, we had a good week of practice. Good week of practice.
That, you know what, that's disheartening, man. That, you know, when Coach Prime, you know, go to the podium, you know, on those Tuesdays and say, hey, we had a good week of practice. Look, it's disheartening for me to hear Coach Prime say, I haven't left the facility in a week and the team still give up 52 points. Why? Don't stay at the facility. And that seems like a waste of time. If you stayed at the facility for a week, you ain't go home because you're trying to figure out. And Coach Prime probably at that mad scientist watching the film like, what is going on? Why are we doing this? Go, Coach Prime, go home, man. Your health is not worth it. Go sleep in your own bed, brother.
They start off the season wrong, man, by not tightening to the ground, man. And when you look at them on defense, they don't want to hit JR. He ain't got no dogs out there. He ain't got enough dogs out there. That recruiting staff, I fire them too. They don't win and got the wrong player, bro.
Nah, man.
Bro. They don't win and got the wrong player. Man. No, JR.
I don't think recruiting staff miss like that, man.
Why? What
I don't think so.
JR. They went into the transfer portal and got the wrong one.
I don't think so. And look,
JR, they
my
spent more
reason
money
why.
on Jaheim Otis. He was the first one they took out of the draft,
Yeah,
out of
now
the watchtower.
that yes, that one yes, but there's other guys that have contributed from the transfer portal. You're not gonna hit on everybody. You're gonna miss on some guys, but you're gonna hit
Who
on
did
some
they hit
guys
on,
too.
JR?
Tawfiq Byard, they hit on him. That was a good hit.
Bro, they missed on him, man. That didn't even start the dude. They started your guy.
I mean, but you see he
Stoudemire.
producing. You see he producing on the field.
So why they go with Stoudemire then?
I don't. Maybe
Because
he
they were
already
listening to you?
knew.
Because they were listening to you on the part?
Maybe,
Stoudemire.
maybe.
And they find out what happened in the last
But
3 games. Man,
but
take Stoudemire off my there.
you look how Stoudemire finished off the season last year, and you had tremendous players on that defense last year. The heartbeat of the defense, Cameron McCray, the world athlete Heisman winner Travis Hunter, Shiloh, uh, Hill Green, BJ Green. You had pieces, right? So when Stoudemire got on the field, he played much better because he had much better talent around him.
Who?
Yes,
Who?
Stoudemire. Even DJ McKinney played well last year, opposite Travis Hunter.
DJ McKinnon.
Yes, he played well last year too.
Oh,
But
last year. Okay. Oh, I
yeah,
thought you were talking
last
about
year.
this year.
But I said it's different now, and you probably heard me say this, and people in the chat, y'all heard me say this too. It's different now when the lights are on you, and you are the one that is
I give
supposed
you
to
that.
galvanize
I
the
give you
team.
that.
The lights is different. Remember, Cameron Silman Craig lines up Travis Hunter to cause the fumble against Baylor. That's leadership. Who lining up people? You got shout out to Ben Finnecet back there pointing out and saying stuff, and then they get a delay of game on a punt. Cause he out there pointing so much. Dog. Just snap the ball so he can punt it. But when the lights are bright and now it's time for you to step into it, they just weren't ready for the moment, man. And that's not, yes, it's on the players as well. As being a former player, it's on you as well because you gotta break through. But that's coaching because I can't come to the meeting after we lost a game. I'm gonna tell you something. What my coach did when I played ball, man, we were bad, man. We got beat up on a lot. But we were a smaller school, and we played up against some talent. I mean, we played Kentucky. We lost by 58 BWatts. 58 points. We talking about D1 athletes running up all and down the court, stuff like that. We lost by a lot of points. It got to the point in the season where we were so down on ourselves. We would go in, the same thing Colorado do, bring up the tape. Hey, you got to curl hard on this screen. You got to shift hard on that. You got to run the floor harder. You got to back cut harder. All of those things. My coach said, we ain't even doing that no more. Let me just show y'all some plays y'all did well. Can we just repeat this over and over? It may be to this point. Look, they going in and they looking at film and say, y'all did this wrong. You just this play away. You missed this block. You didn't make this read. You missed this catch. You missed. They may just need to see, man, what do we do well at this point? Because it seems you going into the week to start the week off to flush it, right? But I can't flush nothing when you bringing it up and they diagnosing it because, yeah, you got to do that. We so far into the season now, we doing so much wrong. What are we doing right? And then it brings me back to coaching. If you bringing it up and you diagnose it and you showing the players over and over again, hey, this is not being done right. It starts from coaching. It wasn't coached correctly from the beginning.
Okay. What coaches Coach Prime need to replace then?
Look, I've been on record multiple times saying Coach Hart. I love the man who he is as a motivator for the team. So I don't think you need to completely remove him from the program. But his services could be used somewhere else in the program. But the linebacker play from day one at Colorado, has not been good. Oh, it was okay last year, but again, I look at the linebacker
Is it
play. You
because of the talent or the coaching, JR?
know, BWatts, we looked at players last year with Reginald Hughes and French. They had 80 plus tackles at their previous school, albeit lower level. 80 plus. They can't get three tackles this
Nate
year.
Salter was doing the same thing at
That's
Liberty.
that's coaching. That's coaching. If you're the coach, B Watts, and you know my deficiencies, aren't you gonna coach me up on my deficiencies and put me in the best position to play? Because it's not just one player, it's multiple players.
That's why I'm asking you
Multiple.
which coaching. You can't just say the linebacker coach.
Linebacker coach, you could go offensive coordinator, you could go cornerbacks coach, like Mathis. Mathis coached the Heisman winning trophy guy. Same thing with
Come,
Coach
time out.
Phillips.
Time
Heisman
out.
trophy
I'm telling
guy.
y'all, time out.
He
Man,
did.
Travis that dog before he got there. Come on now.
He
Want to thank
look,
Miss Phillips for the $4.99. She said, B Watts going
right.
on the rampage. Just get
Right.
yeah, yeah. No,
That's
sis, that shit.
what
I'm
he
tired of this
trying to
shit, sis.
do.
This shit about to drive me crazy, man. Look at him.
Nah, man.
Look,
Can't
man.
be.
Travis Hunter was a dog when he got there.
He was.
Okay.
He was.
When you look at the wide receiver coach from last year, do he get the credit for the wide receiver that went to the NFL?
Yes. That's the
Okay,
credit
what
you gotta
happened
give
this
him.
year? Why he can't teach these guys to get off the ball? Why he can't teach these guys to run the correct routes? If he's supposed to get credit for Jimmy Horn Jr., LeJounte. LeJounte was a dog before he got there.
He
LeJounte caught
was.
108 passes before he got to Colorado. Why
He
would Coach
was.
Phillips get the credit for that?
That's just the way it happens.
Okay, what happened this year with the wide receiver?
You got to coach him up, and that's
Okay,
what
then
I'm saying, man.
so
That's
why he
you
get a
gotta
pass?
coach
You
him
want to
up.
throw my dog out there, Coach
No,
Hart? Why he get a pass?
I'm not saying he get a pass. I
You
named
ain't brought his
Coach Hart.
name up,
I
JR.
said Coach Mathis. I did. I said Coach Phillips too. I did. That was the last coach I said. I said
Yeah,
Coach
say
Phillips.
Coach Hart, Coach Hart, Coach Hart.
Look, that to me, that's the biggest glaring issue. But it starts with the defensive coordinator. Look, I get it. Last year, it was kind of a shock. Boom, he got hired. Now we got to go in and we got to come and put together a defensive scheme and all of that stuff. Well, I can't really put together a scheme because I'm not bringing nobody with me. So I got to go and coach based off the talents and the strengths of the players and the coaches that's already there. But now you've been there 2 years. I would have been like, scratch that. Look, this the scheme. This the scheme we running. It seemed like he's still going hey, we just gonna go with the flow of the game. It's a fluid concept of how we do stuff. No, man, because now you have no identity. Now we have no go-to. Now we don't know our strength. We don't know the strength of the defense or the offense.
That's why I say clean house.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's some coaches you're gonna keep behind. Marshall Faulk is definitely a coach that you keep behind.
What you done did, JR?
Look, I see Marshall Faulk constantly coaching those running backs when they come into the sideline. He is, man. Something happened.
Marshall
during
Faulk
the
had the
game.
best running back on the team on the sideline with Dallin Hay. You know he put out there? Traylon Miller, Cal Michael.
Bro. I don't know if that's a scheme thing or what, man. If they're trying to get different looks or whatever the case may be. But yeah, going back to players being frustrated, Dallin Hayden was one of the players that showed his frustration last game. Because you can see when they was backed up in their own end zone and they ran the ball 3 different times, 3 times consecutively with Dallin. And Dallin Hayden was kind of like, man, what are we doing, man? He was throwing his head what are we doing?
I know he did. I saw it too. Yeah.
I've never seen that young man break out of character like that. He usually pretty stoic, even though he ain't getting the touches that he probably want. He just seemed look, man, when I get out there, I'm gonna make the best of it. But when he started doing man, what are we doing? Oh, come on, man. Then I was just you got players like that. that have great character losing their bearing during the game, that's hard to watch, man, because he don't deserve that. For real. He don't.
Yeah. Warren Sapp, another. What he doing other than kicking old pylons every game?
Yeah. Man.
What he doing? In
Yeah,
trouble with the law. Get in trouble with the law, kicking over pylons. Only thing he was teaching them guys was that, hey, put your hips into it. Put your hips in. When you come off ball, throw your hips around. I said, what kind of thing? Hey, and doing this shit, yeah.
I can tell you this.
Put your ass on that chalkboard and draw up a play and let me see, can you coach?
I know we want to see, I know as a fan, like we want to see coordinators lose their job right now. We ready. You can, hey, Pat can go, thank you for your services. Livingston, you can go, thank you for your services. But I appreciate what Coach Prime is doing because these men still got families. And if they still want to coach or whatever like that, you know, I appreciate it. But a demotion, they still got a job. A demotion could definitely be something that needs to be put in place because it's sweeping changes will be made. You can't go the past 2 games and be a minus 81. You had 105 points scored on you to your 24. That's minus 81. You can't. Nobody deserves to keep their job from that alone. So I'm for certain coordinators will be gone this year. I don't know if any of the position coaches will be, you know, let go or stuff like that. But it's hard, man, because I'm not gonna say they depend on Coach Prime because look, we seen Coach Flea be removed from the program. You know, they quiet as kept. Coach Flea left. They didn't say he was fired or nothing. They just stopped talking about him, essentially. Went to Wyoming. Wyoming running back came in there and ran for 150 yards on CU. Coach Flea was like, yeah, we lost the game, but my boy, a true freshman, 150 on y'all head. So, look, these other coaches can go out and get jobs. Coach Prime, you have opened the door for them to be a good resume builder for. They can go out and get jobs, man. Coach Dancy went to Mississippi State. Phil Loho went to Mississippi State. Heck, what's his name? Charles Kelly got a head coaching job. The other offensive coordinator you had got a head coach. So people able to rebrand themselves and go out there and get a job. It's a complete gut, in my opinion. There's a few select coaches you keep on board, but to me, it's a gut job. And you got to get some coordinators in here and allow them to kind of bring in their staff. But Coach Prime don't trust nobody. That's the thing. It goes with trust because you heard him say this a multitude of times. Look, I trust my guys. Can't just trust everybody, but I trust my guys. So now Coach Prime, you got to be vulnerable, man. You got to be vulnerable. You got to hire some guys, vet them extremely well, go through the vetting process, get some guys in here, and let them bring in some guys too. And get it going.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. JR want to give everybody a pass tonight, but I promise y'all, if y'all come back tomorrow night, I'm going in tomorrow night. You hear me? At 8 o'clock, it's going to be the Bernard Watts Show. Not Sports Talk with BWatts and JR. Tomorrow night, it's going to be the Bernard Watts Show. He getting everybody a pass. Boy, I'm going in tomorrow. What?
Oh, man.
8 o'clock tomorrow night. Come to Sports Talk with BWatts, the Bernard Watts Show. JR getting everybody a pass. Everybody a pass.
Hey, people need grace. People need grace, man. People need grace.
Golly, man. It's 2 weeks in a row, JR. They scored 50 points.
Yeah.
50 points. But Robert Livingston, he's the golden child. He's the one he get a pass. He get a pass. Man, please. Robert Livingston, I'm going to set your ass on fire tomorrow. You hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, JR, that's the end of the show, man. I appreciate you for this hour tonight, man. I appreciate you, man, for joining me on Sunday night. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all tonight. Welcome back, Miss Phyllis Smith. Thank you for joining the membership. Appreciate you. JR, get us out of here, man.
Yeah, man. Look, storms don't last forever, man. Storms don't last forever. So at the end, the sun will shine again. And for all us fans, it's a rough patch right now. And if we believe in Coach Prime, like how he believes in himself, which he made it very clear at the post game presser,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I believe
They
in
put him
me.
on fire for and say, hey,
Yeah,
it ain't
I,
me. I know what I'm doing.
I
I
know
said,
what
all
I'm doing.
right,
I believe in me.
Doc.
So he believes in himself that much, man. He believes that he'll get it right. So he'll get it right, man. Because look, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
This year has been a toss up year. Next year can't be a toss up because they'll be calling for your job next, Coach Prime.
Well, who? What you talking about? It sure is. They got
Yeah,
rid of
yeah,
who? Auburn head coach, Maryland head coach today. They
yep,
got rid of the Florida Gator coach. They don't got rid of a lot of coaches. I believe in Coach Prime. It's just the people around him, his coaching staff.
yeah,
And that recruiting staff, they failed too, Brick Dog. They didn't bring
yeah.
in no good players. They spent the money on wide receivers when they needed a defensive line and some linebackers. That was
It's hard.
good.
It's
They need
hard to
something that's
argue with you on
good.
that one. It's hard to argue with you on that one.
I mean, you can't. Just like that dude named Bear. They called him Bear. He was
Yeah,
jumping place to place. That
yeah.
boy, dog.
What I
It's
will
the
say,
NIL. You got to pay to play. He wanted the money.
what
I
I
check
will
this out.
say,
This quarterback that's coming out in 2027, he
yeah,
chose Texas Tech over Colorado.
yeah. I mean, that's a hard sell to tell to a 2027 kid when the program is not going in the right direction. It's a hard sell. What do you tell that 2027 kid? You could be the face. The face of what? What are you? What is it that I'm the face of exactly? Because you gonna sign me, but I'm not getting there for another 2 years, so or a year and a half or something like that. So what am I the face of? Because Juju is the face right now. So I'm just gonna be another, until 2027 roll around. Now you start pumping me up again. That's a hard sell. But if you're winning, it's easy to stack talent when you're winning. To say, hey, we getting these guys to the NFL. That's why the Georgias, the Alabamas, the Oklahomas, Tennessee. That's why they continues to get talent because they put it in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, you're
Coach
right.
Prime will get it together. You gotta make yourself vulnerable, Coach Prime. That's the advice I would give you if you're willing to listen. You make yourself vulnerable, man, and not saying not go with your gut, but you got to extend that hand of trust just a little bit further, a little bit further. My pastor would always say at the end, the benediction, and we're looking for members of the church. Hey, is there another? Is there it could be somebody new to the church home. Is there another? Is there another? We're extending our hand out. Coach Prime needs to extend his hand out because his handshake is real short. It needs to be a full hand extension. You gotta be able to trust more than people outside of your circle. But I understand life throws curveballs at you. But in this profession, it's hard. That's like opening up a business with your family. When the business ain't doing right, you got to start making changes. You got to start firing some family, get some people in there that know what they're doing. You got to get some people in there that know what they're doing.
Yeah. He'll get it together. I'm praying that he will get the right. Got to get some right coaches and the right players at that. You just got to get some guys that want to play, some dogs, man. They got to learn how to identify good players in the transfer portal. And that's the only way they're going to do it because it's hard to get a high school player to come up there. You ain't winning. You ain't winning. All right, JR. Appreciate you tonight. Appreciate the chat. Y'all have a good night.
Chat.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, big dog.
We're trying to fix what was broken last week, and we're on to this week. We're not there last week. We're past that. We just got to go out there and do what we're capable of doing. We're prepared to have no opportunity to fail. That's how you bounce back from adversity.
This will be Colorado's second home game of the year, and I'm telling you, they need a big time win
This is a football game. You've got to win convincingly, and I think they will. There has been a little bit more of kind of that edge within this program.
This is kickoff week from beautiful Boulder, Colorado. You got to give this crowd so much credit here at Folsom Stadium.
I don't need nobody scared. I don't need nobody afraid, nobody timid. Be that dude. Everybody wants to be hit. It's time to be hit. Because we belong.